Earlier today, I listened to an excellent interview linked below between Tom Woods and Milo Yiannopoulos. Now, generally, I learn a lot from Tom's interviews, his hideous taste in music notwithstanding. Like Mr. Louis Farrakhan, I grew up playing the violin, and most heavy metal grates on my nerves. Well, like most people, I like Milo. In this interview, he gave second-wave feminists a pass, and that grated on my nerves even more than Tom's music. Now, you can understand why millennials do this. They grew up with the screeching from third-wave feminists and heard that all second-wave feminists wanted was equality. But that was a lie. In his interview, Tom asked Milo to list 3 things from third-wave feminism. Milo responded with the mythical wage gap, the mythical rape culture, and the evil male hegemony known as patriarchy. On patriarchy, quote, radical feminists use patriarchy to refer to a social system characterized by male domination over women, close quote. Heidi Hartman, 1979. Quote, a system originating in the household wherein the father dominates, the structure then reproduced through the society in gender relations, close quote. Catherine A. McKinnon, 1982. Quote, patriarchy's chief institution is the family, close quote. Kate Millett, 1971. On the mythical rape culture, quote, a conscious form of intimidation by which all men keep all women in a state of fear, close quote. Susan Brownmiller, 1975. And in 1982, Mary Cause and Ms. Magazine began their Rape Campus survey in which, by imposing their own evaluations on the students rather than believing the students themselves, they were able to manufacture the 1 in 3 statistic. On the mythical wage gap, the wage gap myth began with second-wave feminist demands for comparable worth standards in about 1984. At that time, the second-wave feminists were less interested in getting more women into jobs that paid well than in getting the government to require employers to pay higher wages in fields already dominated by women. They wanted to make the wages equal to what men were paid in jobs that feminists deemed were comparable to women's jobs. For example, admin assistants would be paid the same as iron workers. File clerks would be paid the same as machinists. Grammar school teachers would be paid the same as crab fishermen. The fact that the men's jobs were dirty and dangerous didn't make any difference to them. Yes, there are great women who claim to be second-wave feminists, women like Christina Hoff Sommers, Kathy Young, the women at the Independent Women's Forum, Ash Show, and Barbara Kay, for example, but for every one of them there are dozens of second-wave feminist cultural Marxists who use postmodernism to vilify and demonize men. Second-wave feminists like Catherine McKinnon, Andrea Dworkin, Susan Brownmiller, Kate Millett, Robin Morgan, and Shulamith Firestone, among many others. As with the concept of hypergamy, it's important for everybody to grasp this because there is no such thing as good feminism. Sure, I'm all for equality in the eyes of the law, and by dictionary definition, feminists will claim that makes me a feminist, but the dictionary definition is a lie, and it has always been a lie. When I carped about this in the comments section of Tom's and Milo's interview, one of the other listeners asked if it isn't possible that second-wave feminism in England was different from second-wave feminism in the USA. The answer is no. Wages for Housework was an especially vile program second-wave feminists used to vilify men for allegedly taking advantage of women's free labor. It spread like a virus from Italy to France and then to England before it crossed over to infect the United States and Canada. Wages for Housework proponents ignored that if husbands were taking advantage of their wives' free labor, then by the same logic, wives were taking advantage of their husbands' free paychecks. But even more telling is the story of Erin Pizzey, who, in 1971 or thereabouts, founded the Battered Women's Shelter in England. She was forced to flee from England to the United States and then from the U.S. to the Cayman Islands by feminists who threatened violence against her. Why did they do this? because Aaron Pizzi's research revealed that not only is most domestic violence reciprocal, and that women are at least as likely as men to engage in intimate partner violence, but that just as many women as men are pedophiles. So, second-wave feminists were and are every bit as vile in England as they are in Australia, Canada, Europe, New Zealand, and the United States. Moreover, the primary goal and highest aspiration of feminism in all of those countries is, as second-wave feminist Naomi Wolf explained in disagreement with second-wave feminist Audre Lorde, to use the master's tools to tear down the master's house. Quote, "The late feminist poet Audre Lorde wrote that the master's tools would never dismantle the master's house. But the electoral process, the press, and money are among the master's tools. It is only the master's tools that can dismantle the master's house." Close quote. Naomi Wolf, 1993. Every successive wave of feminism, from at least the second-wave feminist to the third-wave feminists and now to the fourth-wave feminists, has been destructive, anti-civilization, anti-liberty, pro-big government, and anti-male, which is to say saturated through and through with misandry. That's all for now. Check out the other videos, subscribe to the channel, for the Backlash at backlash.com. My name is Rod Van Mechelen.